Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with your same module, that is a research skill, and the same chapter, that is the chapter number 6, that is putting it into the practice. So in the last class we have discussed some topic, that is how to put into the practice, that is whatever we have discussed about the theory classes or about whatever we have learned till now in chapter number 1 to 5. Now put it into the practice, that is put it into the practically, that is the chapter number 6, that is put it or putting it into the practice, that is the chapter number 6. So let's start with this session. Is this chapter useful to me? That is the first topic that I have to discuss. That is, two teachers who are experienced may find they have already familiar with some of the following suggestions. So who are experienced teacher, they feel this chapter is boring for them because this contains some experienced topics or experienced research, because already experienced teacher will find these suggestions very well. So it depends on the experienced teacher or the inexperienced teacher. And teachers who are just beginning to integrate research into their classroom program may find useful ideas in this material. And teachers who are new to this program, who are new to this beginning, they feel useful ideas, or they get the useful ideas in this program, in this chapter. This is the chapter useful to me or not. So it depends on the experience to experience, right? What will I find in this chapter? So some of the activities or sample of the activities can be used to implement each research stage. That is, sample of representation activities must be implemented for the research stage. This is one of the activity that is taken out at the research stage. This says research means to give each and every element its final value by grouping it in the unity of an organized whole. That means whenever we are doing the research, that means give each and every element its final value. So whenever we research something, or whenever I research something, that means getting or give each and every element as a final value or its final value by grouping it into the unity of the organized whole. So as an organized whole, I am getting the unity, that is the final value of the grouping that is used as the unity of an organized whole. And the pieces of the research puzzle are falling into the place. So whatever the research puzzle that is falling into the place, you are now have an overall perception of both the continuum of the research stages and the continuum of the research level. That is, what is the difference between the continuum of the research stage and what is the difference between the continuum of the research levels, the benefits of the research, and some of the planning steps that will make a classroom research activity successful. So it depends on the research puzzle that is carried out. So it depends on the puzzle to puzzle that is carrying out into the place. So you have an overall perception of both the continuum of the research stages and the continuum of the research level, the benefits of the research, and some of the planning steps which will make a classroom research activity successful. So it depends on the steps that is taken out to make the activity or classroom research activity successful. It is time to provide concrete example of teaching and developing the skills that is found in the different research stages. So it's a time to give everything whatever we have studied in the chapter 1 to 5 into the practice. That is, it is a better to time, or it is a time to provide concrete examples of teaching and developing the skills that is found in the different research stages. And these examples from TRM, that is a teacher resource material or resource manual, that may help you to decide where and when to use a initiative or when to initiate a research activity. That is, where and when you wish to initiate a research activity. And many more examples of specific skills exist in TRM, but the following are included to provide a broad range of teaching ideas. So whatever the teaching idea, whatever the content that is carried out, so they are carried out for a research activity that is available in the teaching ideas. Now it depends on the stages to stages that is carried out. So how I put these stages in these activity. So first is the stage number 1, that is the planning. So to be effectively prepared for the information handling parts of the research activity, students must use many skills and strategies in the planning stage. So whenever you are effectively prepared for the information that is handled a part of the research activity, you or student must use many skills and the strategies at the planning stage, because that is the first stage, and without this planning nothing is possible, if I say, because planning is one of the important concepts. So if my plan is failed, so it's impossible to grasp up, or we can say that take into the routine, or make the content into the routine, or make the content into the category or in the class. So it's very good to discover the errors, discover the risk at the planning stage also. And this example demonstrates one strategy that can be used. So one of the example is the brainstorming strategy. So what is brainstorming in simple terms? Taking the opinions from others or taking the opinion from the student. In this case, that is a brainstorming. So it's an effective strategy that students can use to establish a topic and determine information sources. That is, what are the various information sources that is carried out. So it's an effective strategy, very good strategy that helps a student to use a specific or establish a topic and determine the information sources. That is, what are the various information sources, what is the topic that is given, that is a brainstorming. That means brainstorming means effect, or we can say the storming, or we can say the taking the opinion from others or taking the opinion from the class, that is a brainstorming. So it's an effective strategy that helps a student to establish a topic and determine the information resources. Now, what are the various brainstorming strategies that is available? So first is the oral strategy that is available. So student list briefly and rapidly as many thoughts as possible on a given topic, problem or issues. That is oral strategy. So whatever the strategy, whatever the rule that is followed, that is given as an oral strategy. So students list briefly and rapidly as many thoughts as possible on a given topic. So we can take the student thought, whether it may be available in a prescribed way, whether it may be available in the definite way. So we take the thought of the process. So student list briefly and rapidly as many thoughts as possible on a given topic, problem or the issue. Now next is explain the purpose, procedure and outcome of the brainstorming. That what is the main purpose, what is the outcome that is available for the brainstorming. So purpose is to collect and create the ideas on a topic, problem or the issue. That is to collect and create ideas on a topic. That is what is the main idea, what is the main purpose, why I am taking the opinion. That is what is the main purpose, to collect and create the ideas on a topic, problem or the issue. This is the main purpose. Now what is the procedure that is followed? The first part that is used is the count all the answers. So first part that is covered is the count all the answers. Then second part, record all the ideas without any comments, criticism. So first is count all the answers that is available. Then next is record all the ideas without any comment or criticism. That means give the quantity, not the quality. Then keep stretching. Keep stretching means keep on going on, going on, going on. Then expand on others' answers. That is expand on other answers. That is the H key on the idea. That means expand whatever any answer is available, so you can expand the content and set a time limit and stick to it. That means time management is very important. That is also a part of the procedure. That is follow the time management. The next is the outcome. What is the outcome? A list of many items offering a broad view overview. Items may be grouped in different categories, and students may also be wished to rank them by priority depending on the activity. So whatever the priority, whatever the activity that is carrying out, that is the outcome, that is the output of giving the broad overview. So first part is the written strategy that is given. All members of the group work in the parallel instead of in the sequence by writing down as many ideas as they can think of a given topic. That means this is a strategy that is given. All the members, that is the members of the group work in the parallel. So they work in the parallel, they work in the activities of the parallel. Instead of in the sequence. So they work in the parallel instead of sequence by writing down as many ideas as they think of on a given topic. That is whatever idea they are coming in their mind, so they take that ideas and put into the topic. The participant read what others have written and take the time to initiate them. So participants should read, that is what is written, and the participate what others have written and take time to reflect on the ideas without any interference. Now, what is the procedure? Allow no conversation. So this is the next written strategy. That means there is no conversation among the participant, among the student, among the teachers. Then write down all the ideas. So whatever the idea that is coming in the mind, write down that idea in the notebook, in the paper. That is, write down all the ideas. Then exchange the sheet of ideas with another group member. So now it's your responsibility to exchange the ideas, to the sheet of ideas, whatever the idea that is written on the sheet, with another group member. Now read ideas of other participants and add any other idea. So these are the various procedures. Then after exchanging this, read ideas of the other participant. Yeah, this participant has written this one, this has written this one, and add any new ideas, whatever the any idea, new idea that is given. So add that idea. Then continue this process, whereby each person is either reading ideas of other participants or contributing to the pool of ideas. So whatever they are taking out, so continue this process that is going on, whereby each person is either reading ideas of other participant or contributing to the pool of idea. That is, count whatever the idea they are taking out, they are giving for the idea that is carrying out in this one, and continue process until time runs out or the group exhausts its idea. That means continue these steps, continue these procedure, that is, allow no conversation, write down all the ideas, then exchange the sheets of ideas with another group member, read the ideas of the other participants. So do this activity, continue this process, runs out until the group exhausts or till the group exhausted. That means continue, 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 continue. That is a procedure. Now that is a step number one, that is a stage number one, that is a planning. Next stage, that is a stage number two, that is information retrieval. Now the student must be able to select and use the retrieval strategies that suit the specific research assignment. So whatever the research assignment that is given out, so student must be able to select and use the retrieval strategies, that is, what are the various retrieval strategies that must be used that suit the specific research assignment. That is, what are the various research assignment that will comply that assignment, and various strategies must be used for the information retrieval. And there are three examples of the strategies that is used for retrieving, that is, provide the guidelines and tips to teacher to use this one. So first of all, the first overview or the first strategy that is used for the information retrieval, that is a practical approach, is the interview. That is one of the basic rule that is follow, one of the basic approach that is follow is the interview. So student takes the interview of the others, and they take the information, they retrieve the information by getting the interviews of the people. So using an interview format, student can talk to a number of people to ascertain the public awareness and opinions about the need and desirability for technological changes, and whether they consider that government should take the lead in these changes or not. That is, whether they are designing the lead or not, whether they are getting the lead or not. So using the interview method, every opinion will be taken out, or student will take the interview of the other peoples to ascertain the need, opinion, and desirability for the technological changes, and whether they consider that government should take the lead in these changes or not. So whether the government is taking the lead in the changes or not. And it also ensures that the questions are brief and phrased to elicit the responses that can be readily presented and accessed. And this is also one of the surety, that you must ensure that the questions are the brief, that is, the questions are the short and phrased to elicit, that means gain to elicit the responses that can be readily presented and accessed. Record the answers in the form of the bar graph. So after taking the interview, record each and every answer in the form of the bar graphs. Now here are some things to keep in mind when you prepare for an interview. So one of the activities is the interview. Now what are the various steps that you must follow while getting the interview, while getting the interview? So what are the, we can see the preparation for the interviews. Now what are the various steps that what are the various things that you keep in mind when you prepare for an interview? First is identify the purpose, that is, what is the main purpose. So identification of the purpose, why we are taking the interview, that is, what is the main purpose of the interview. So identify the purpose, that is the main thing. This includes when contacting the person to be interviewed, state clearly who you are, what purpose or what your purpose is. That means, first of all, clear cut intimation that who you are. That is what is the main usage of this one, or who you are taking for this interview. Then state clearly you are, what's your purpose is, how long the interview will take, and what the format will be. That is what is the main format, what is the main thing, that is what is the main purpose, and how long the interview will take, and what is the format will be. That what is the main purpose, what is the format that is taken out for this one. The place and the time should be convenient to the person being interviewed. No, it is not that you are taking the interview of a person at the distance, very far distance from their home or from their working location. No, you must be, we can say, the flexible with the timing, with the area, with the zone of the interviewee. So you take the interview as per the opinion or as per the convenience of the interviewee. So the place and the time should be convenient to the person being interviewed. That is the first tip. And then second thing that is kept in mind: be a good listener. Don't that if anyone will be answered, you will take no, this is not okay. Now you tell me this one, not this one. That means there is no plenty of the question that must be asked from the interview. But you ask or be a good listener. Your job is to find out what the person knows and not to tell that person what you know. That means don't tell the person that what do you know, but you will judge the interviewee, not he is judging you, but you will judge the interviewee. That is the main part. That is, be a good listener. Your job is to find out what the person knows, not you are telling that, yeah, this is okay, this is fine, this is good. No, that is not okay. Then the next category is ask the brief questions one at a time. That is, ask the various questions that is available at one at a time. Don't that, as I said, that what is your name, what's your father name, and so on, so on, so on. There are no many questions that is available, but ask the brief questions one at a time. Then avoid the question that can be answered with simple yes or no. This is also one of the tip that is available, that don't do that. Are you able to write yes or no? That is not okay. And don't write out all the questions in the advance. That is also the part. Write down short phrases of the word that you will jog your mind and keep your interview moving. Formulate your exact answers on the spot. That means do not write the answer and the questions for asking from the interview, no, but you can make the words, you can write the phrases that is available, so that your mind will be strike and the interviewer, and you could get the interview, you could find the interview at that time. So this is, don't write out all your questions in advance. Write down short phrases or words that will jog your mind in this one. And the next is listen to the answer. That is, you must listen to the answer. That is, what are the various answers that must be taken out. That is, listen to the answers. Don't worry about the next question. The answer will flow in the next question as a part of the normal development of a conversation. That is, don't worry about the next question that is clear out, that is taken out. So listen to the answer first of all, and the answer will flow into the next question as a part of the normal development of a conversation. The next is give the interviewee time to think. Don't that tell me about yourself. Then what's your name? So give some time to the interviewee to think. Don't cut the subject off or rush into the new issue before the old issue has been fully discussed. That means give the time. Yeah, you tell me, now you tell me, now you tell me. Give the time to think about their personality, about their role, about their category. So give the interviewee time to think. Then next is avoid the leading question. That means avoid leading questions like, don't you think the government is wasting the tax or money by this one? So avoid these types of questions that is politically related. Then take the notes or use a tape recorder if the person agrees, but be inconspicuous as possible. That means you will take the notes, you will write down what the person says, or you will record the voice of the interview if he or she agrees. Then evaluate the interview. That means evaluate what are the various advantages, what are the disadvantages of the process, and how it can be improved. That is, if I am taking the interview, I can get out that, yeah, this is the beneficial or this is not a beneficial, and if it is beneficial, why it is beneficial, or how can I improve this, and if it is not beneficial. What is the main loophole in this one? What is the main matter in this one? The next is review your notes as soon as possible after the interview. So review your notes about the interview and synthesize the information that is used for the information that is available. Synthesize the information that is used in this one, or the chart, or the mind map, or the paragraph. That is, review your notes as soon as possible after the interview. Don't that you are taking or reviewing the answers or reviewing the persons after 2 or 3 days, but at that time you are not remembering that that is a person who gives the answer. You don't resemble the faces also. Then send a thank you letter. At last, send a thank you letter, that is, thanks a lot, thank you so much, send you a thank you, or send a thank you letter. These are the various tips that you must be kept in mind when prepare for the interview. So yeah, if you are taking the interview, please keep these minds or these things in the mind. Then next is the field study. So first is the interview that is available. This is also the strategy that is used for the retrieval of the information. Then field studies are an important part of the unit. They can be used as an introduction, information source, or the culmination. That means it is used as a culmination, information. So the next part is the field study, that is also one of the important study that is available. So it is an important part of the unit, and they can be used as an introduction, information source, or the culmination. That means it is used as an introduction, whether we are introducing something, whether we are getting the information source, that is the information source, or the culmination. And it is important that the field study has a purpose and provides a learning experience. So whatever the field study we are giving, so it has a proper purpose, or we have the information source or the specific purpose, and provides a learning experience. Then becomes a field study entails leaving the school, and there are always numerous details that must be taken care of. So it is important that the field study has a purpose that provides a numerous details, that is how to carry out the detail, or how to carry out the studies that is available in this one, to form the network, to gain the network that is available in this one. So there are always numerous details that must be taken care of, and below are the two planning stages that is available. So there are two stages in which the planning must be carried out. The first is the pre-field study planning. That is, a pre-field means before going into the field there is a pre-field study planning phase. That is, before going into the field there is a planning that is carried out. That is a pre-field study planning. For this, you have to make sure that the adequate background knowledge is developed. That is, there should be a adequate background knowledge that is developed. That is the first condition. Then ideas and the objectives are developed. That is the second condition. That is, make sure that in the pre-field study planning, ideas and the objectives are developed in an effective manner. Then related material is also available. That is, the film, pictures, books are also available. That is a related material. Then the follow-up activities are planned. So there should be a follow-up activity that is also carried out. That is also the pre-field study planning. The follow-up activities are planned in the proper manner. Then approval of the administration has been given. That means approval of the administration has been given in this one. That is the pre-field study planning. So these are the various possibilities. These are the various points that you must be sure about the pre-field study planning. So if you are doing the study planning, so you must be sure about these fields, about these content, about these planning activities. So you make sure about these activities. Then second is arrangement of field study. That is the next part. In this you have to decide where are you going, where you are going, and why you are going. That means for the field study you must be get the answer, that is where you are going, that is what is the place or where you are going, that is the first part, and why you are going, that is what is the main purpose of going to that one. Then next is arrange the field study and then get the confirmation. That is, arrange what is the field study or how you get the field study and get the confirmation from that. That is also a part of the arrangement of the field study. So first of all, decide where are you going and why you are going. Then arrange the field study and get the confirmation, that what is the field study and how you will confirm that. Then arrange the transportation and get the confirmation. That means for going into the field study, that is what is the main transportation part and what is the main confirmation part that must be carried out in going to the activities, or what are the various activities that is. So first is decide where are you going and what are the various places that is going on. Then arrange the field study and get the confirmation, that is what is the field study, and you confirm whether these field studies we can say the valid or not. That is arrange the field study and get the confirmation. Then arrange the transportation and also get the confirmation. So first of all, arrange what is the field study or where is the field study that is going on, and then arrange the transportation, that is when you are transporting something, so arrange the transportation and get the confirmation. Then distribute and collect parental permission form. So distribute and collect what is the parental information form that is available, that is used to distribute and collect the permission forms. Then plan the field study activity. This is also the arrangement of the field study, that is plan out what are the various activities that is carried out, and make a field study booklet in which the students can record their observation during the field trip. So make a field study booklet. So you make a booklet in which the students can record their observation, that is what they observe during the field trip. This may even include activities for the bus ride to and from the field study destination. And booklet of the activities, that is approximately 10 to 14 centimeter, can be stapled onto heavy cardboard. A pencil can be attached to the cardboard using a string. That is, a pencil can be used for the cardboard that is given as a string, and the booklet can be taken out to the cardboard, or the booklet would be carried out with the cardboard for getting the notes, for taking the notes after the field trip, and the cardboard can be used again. So for getting the cardboard, that can be used again. An example of the force activity sheet that is used in this one. This is the student's activity booklet. Now, first question is, what services, facilities does our community have? So, what are the various services, what are the various facilities does our community have? That is the first question. Then, second question is, find an example of people working together, that is a cooperating, describe. So, this is the first question, that is, what are the various services, facilities that does our community have? And find an example of people working together. So what is an example of people working together? That is a cooperating. Now describe them. Then what do people do for the fun? That is a recreation. So what do you think that the people will have a fun or will do for the fun? That is a recreation. Then draw a picture to show your favorite types of recreation. That is, draw a picture to show what are the various recreation, what are the various types of the recreation that is carried out in this one. Then what did you learn? That is, what is our basic, that what did you learn about this one. Then what do you find most interesting? That is, what is the main interesting part in this one, or what do you find in taking interest in this one? That is a student activity booklet. So these are the 4 or 2 5 questions that is available in this one. This is one of the example that is given for preparing the field study booklet. Then the stage number 2, that is also the continue, that is a retrieval chart. So first part is the interview, that is over. Second part is the field studies, that is also over. Third part is the retrieval chart, that is also one of the activity, one of the approach that is used for getting the information. That includes, or what is the retrieval chart? The main purpose of retrieval chart is to provide a quick organized method of gathering or organizing the data. That is, it is a perfect method of gathering the data, that is how to gather the data, or how to build the data, or how to use the data that is available in this one. So this is one of the main activity, that is how you get the data, how you bring the data into the activity that must be carried out in this one. So the purpose is to provide a quick, organized, and the method or gathering or organizing the information, and it is meant to be brief and concise, so that only essential data are recorded, so that the only essential data are recorded in this one. It also allows the students to compare and extract the data more easily in order to arrive at a conclusion and form the generalization. This is one of the important one of the example that is given, that is a sample retrieval chart that is given, that includes various fields like occupations, that is Japan then, influence Japan now, then family structure, government. So these are the various retrieval information, that is what is the occupation, Japan, then what is the family structure, what aspects of Japanese structure appear to be retained. So these are the various questions that is by which we can get the information, that is a retrieval chart, by which we can retrieve the information. So the main target is to provide a quick organized method of gathering or organizing the information. Now next stage is the stage number 3, that is the information processing. So we have covered about the planning, we have covered about the information retrieval, that includes the 3 phases. One is the interview, one is the information or retrieval chart, one is the field studies. Now third part is, or third stage is information processing. So after planning, after information retrieval, next step is information processing. Now see what are the various activities that is available in the information processing. This topic I am going to take after the break. So let's take a break, then move to this stage, that is the stage number 3. So let's take a break first of all. Break. Now let's start the session again. So this is stage number 3, that is the information processing. That is how you can process the information, or what are the various, we can say, the how we can put into the practice. That is the stage number 3, that is the information processing. That is what are the various steps required to process the information. So students needs to interpret and synthesize the information in a variety of ways. The following example, that means it's depends on the student to student, but there are many ways to synthesize the information in a variety of ways and interpret the information. The following examples highlight important synthesizing skills. So what are the various important synthesizing skills that is used? So there are many skills that is required to read the tables. Sorry, the first skill that is required, the first example that is required is reading the tables, graphs and the diagram. That is what are the various tables that is carried out, what are the various graphs that is going on. So reading the tables, graphs and the diagrams, that is the first part. So that is the stage number 3. So read out the tables, read out the graphs and read out the diagrams. And there are many skills that is required to interpret, or that is required to read the tables, graphs and the diagrams. Student needs the instruction to develop these skills and to understand graphics, that is what are the various graphics that is going on, what are the various content that is going on to this one. So student needs the instruction to develop these skills and to understand the graphics. Now what is the graphics that needs to be carefully looked up? So there is an important concept, or there is an important we can say the concentration that is given on the graphics. So graphics need to be carefully looked up or looked over, read and interpreted on a regular basis. That means students need to see tables, graphs and diagrams more often and in greater variety than afforded by the limited number found in the most textbooks. That is, graphs and the charts are the most important part that is available, that is used for the representing the information. So instead of writing the text, we can represent the content in the form of the graphs, table or the chart. That is a better option for representing the information. So there are many skills that is required to read the tables, graphs and the diagram, and students needs the instruction to develop these skills and to understand the graphics. And the graphics needs to be carefully looked over, read and interpreted on a regular basis. That means students need to see tables, graphs and diagrams more often and in greater variety than afforded by the limited number found in most textbooks. That is, they need to see the text or tables, graphs or the diagram that is more often used and in more greater variety than afforded by the limited number that is found in most of the textbooks. Now first part is reading the table. So now let's see what are the differences between the tables, or how we can read the tables, graphs or the diagrams. So first is reading the tables. So to gain the information from a table, one must know the purpose of the table. That is, what is the main purpose of the table, why we are building the table, what is the main content that is available in the table. So to gain the information from a table, one must know the purpose of the table, be able to locate the information by following lines until they intersect and draw the conclusion. So they must be able to, or there must be content, or there must be a target, or must know, that is how to locate the information by following lines, or by locating the information by following lines until they intersect and draw the conclusion from the information presented. So one must know what is the purpose, what are the various information that is represented by the tables, by getting the information. And to develop the skills for reading the tables, ask questions similar to the following. So to develop the skills for reading the tables, ask various questions that is available for getting the skills for getting the similar answer to the following. That is what is the main title, that is what is the main title of getting the information. Then what units of measurement are being used, so what is the main title, then what units of measurement are being used for getting the table, then what are the column headings, this is one of the important, if I'm creating the table, then what are the various columns heading that is available, what are the fields name that is available, then where or what are the side headings, so one is the column headings, one is the side headings, then where do the line intersect, that is where do the line intersect, that is available, what is the main scenario of intersecting the line, what does this tells you, that is how you get the information that is used in this one, that is how you can get the information, and how can you use the information, that is what is the main purpose or what is the use of the table, how you can get or how you can or how you can get help from the table that is created with this one. So first is what is the main title, then what units of measurement are being used, then what are the various column headings, then what are the various side headings, then where do the lines intersect, and what does this tells you, that means if the lines intersect with each other, what is the main scenario, what is the main purpose of this one or getting the this one. Right. Now next is reading the graph. So one is reading the tables we have done. The next is how we can read the graph. That includes the various standard charts of or 11 types of graphs. That includes the bar, circle, line, picture. That is the reading the graphs. To gain the information from a graph, one must know the purpose of the graph, determine the units of a measure, summarize and infer the meaning or infer the meaning. That is reading the graph. That is the first part. That is how we can read the graphs. Then getting the information, one must read that how you can get the graphs, what is the main purpose of getting the graph, how you can summarize the graphs, and to develop the skills for reading graphs, one must answer the following questions. What are the various questions? What type of graph is being used, that is the what is the or what type of graph, whether it may be a pie chart graph, whether it may be a line graph, whether it may be a circle graph, what type of graph it is used, and so that the relevant information or the available information is represented in an effective manner. So you can choose the graph from the available graphs, that is the reading the graphs. Then next is what information is presented, that what is the main information that is presented over here, that is what information is presented, and what is the main idea. Then what is the unit of measure, that is what is the main unit of the measure that is available over here. Then what symbols are used, that is what is the main symbol that is used over here, what does each one mean, so what is the meaning of each one, so what is the main symbol that is used in this one. Then what is the importance of the information presented, if I present the information, what is the importance of the presenting the information, so what is the importance of the information presented. Some common graphing flaws that can result in the distortion of the facts are oversimplified graphs, symbols that of differ in the size or the shapes. So what are the various facts, that is that there will be a oversimplified graph that is available, symbol that offers or that differ in the size or the shapes, graphs presented on the distorted grids, so how we can present the graphs in the distorted grids, then scales that do not begin with the 0, and the graphs that show the irregular increment. So if there is an irregular increment, how we can show the graphs, right? Then this is the table reading, then graph reading. Then next is the diagram reading, that is how we can represent it, the diagram, or how we can read the diagram that is representing the information. So to gain the information about a diagram, one must be able to identify the parts and see the relationship among them. That is what is the main relationship for reading the diagrams. And to develop the skills or to develop the scenarios that must be taken out, that must be carried out in this one. So to develop the skills for reading the diagrams, ask the question that is similar to the following. That is, ask the various questions that is similar to the following. What is the picture or what is the pictured in the diagram? That is, if the diagram is representing some fact, so what's your first question, that is what is the what the diagram depicts or what is the pictured in the diagram. Then what is the location of the different parts, so what is the location of different parts means how you can denote the or how you can represent the different parts of the diagram. Then what are the relationship of the separate parts? So if one part is related to another, so with the diagram we can easily represent that how the different parts are represented, or what is the main relationship among the different parts, among the separated parts. Then why has a diagram been included? That is, why has a diagram that is included, that is being included. So this is the first part, that is the information processing. With the help of the table, graphs or diagram, we can process our information after retrieving and the planning. The next part for retrieving the or for processing the information is webbing, that is a mind map. So we use the mind map, that is the webbing techniques for the graphics or for the information processing. So webbing is an effective way of organizing the ideas and providing an overview or overall view of a subject or the issue. So webbing is an effective way to organize the information, to organize the ideas and providing an overall view of a subject or the issue. So how we can organize the data, how we can present the information, how we can provide the overview or overall view of a subject or the issue, that is a webbing. So it's an effective way of organizing the ideas and providing an overall view of a subject or the issue. It can be used by a teachers or the students as a brainstorming. This is also the brainstorming content or the categorizing the activity in the form of the words or the picture. So if I want to represent the activity in the form of the words or the picture, that can be represented by using the brainstorming. So what is the main target, or what is the scenario in this one? The scenario is that place the main ideas in the center of the area. So place the main idea in the center of the area that is being used. Place responses or the ideas around that center idea. So first of all, getting the idea, then place the responses. So what is the main response to this one, to the idea? So place the responses or the ideas around the central idea. Then colors, bubbles, arrows and wavy lines can be used to highlight the significant information. So if there is any relevant information, you can represent that information with the use of the arrows, with the use of the bubbles, with the use of the colors and the wavy lines that is used to highlight the significant information. This is one of the example that is given. For example, the topic 6C. Now this means 6C is represented as highlighted as a 6 and the content is a C. Say we are going to study about how the Chinese meet their needs, and before we discuss what we already know about the China, let's review the different needs. As students identify the different needs, make a large bulletin board mind map similar to the one shown below. When students share what they already know about the China, add it to the mind map. And as students research and share the new information throughout the unit, continue to add or have a students add to the mind map. So as the students identify what are the various needs, so make a large bulletin board that will mind map the similar to the one shown below, and if it is China, that is it is through the mind map. And as the students research and share the new information throughout the unit, continue to add or share the information to the mind map. So continue going on, taking the activity that is carried out for getting the information to the ideas. This is a shark fin soup. This is one of the example that is available over here. So this is the shark fin soup, sweet and sour soup, pork, then rice, then pecking duck. So this is the food. These are different types of food in the China. These are the homes, education, entertainment, occupation. So these are the categories of the China. In the China there is a food that is available, tradition, transportation, clothing, occupation, entertainment, education, homes. In the transportation there are three modes: car, aeroplane, bicycle. In the food these are the four examples. In the occupation there are three examples of the occupation, like factory workers, farmers, fishermen, right? So this is one of the example how we can use the webbing, how we can make the mind map. The next is webbing continue. So as a summary, student could individually or as a class creates a webbing diagram to organize the categories, possible subheadings in some examples. So categorize what is the main information, what is the relevant information, how we can represent the information, how we can represent the or organize the categories, possible subheadings or some examples. So as a summary, student should individually or could individually or as a class creates a webbing diagram to organize the categories, possible subheadings, and what are the various examples of getting the information, and the teacher may also be used or may have to illustrate for the examples how a webbing diagram is created. So what are the various steps, or we can say what are the various approaches by which the web diagrams or webbing diagrams is created before completing this section. A partial possible diagram is shown below. This is one of the example that is available with this one. This is one of the diagram. This is the role of the government. That's the main part. Regulation of the society. That also includes the protection of the citizens. Then regulation of the society. That is the control of the business. Then licensing requirements, labor regulations, censorship, then health regulations. Then next is provision of services. That is what is the main provision of the services that is available with this one. Then that includes the social, pension, unemployment, insurance. Then educationals, that includes the schools, libraries, universities. That is also the role of the government. So this is the main category, or we can say this is the webbing diagram. We can represent the information with the help of the webbing diagram. Now next is after the webbing, there is a tool that is used for the information processing, that is the develop the research procedures. Now how it is works, so elicit the various categories or the topic that help study a native group. That means elicit what are the various categories or the topic that will help you or that help you to study a native group. That is what is the meaning of the group, that is includes the necessities, food, shelter, clothing. That means what are the various basic needs that will help the various categories. So the main is develop the research procedure, that is how we can research or how you can research the activities. That includes the necessities, foods, shelter, clothing, daily life, breaks, keeping order, etc. Then applying these headings in the form of the spider. That means applying these main headings, these categories in the form of the spider, in the form of the dotted arrows. And after applying these headings in the form of the spider, report to the study of the three main Eastern Canadian native group at that time, that is Algonquian, Huron, and the Iroquois. And student can research a chosen native group using available resources. So it depends on the student to choose the available group, that is what is the main group that is carrying out. So choose the native group out of the available resources, out of the available groups that is carried out. Either that may be available in the individual, either that may be available in the group. And the information gathered can be recorded on a spider report sheet. So information is also recorded on a spider sheet that is used in this one. This is the sample spider report. This is given. This is the name of the groups like food, clothing, home, daily life, order, beliefs, transport. And using the information gathered on the spider report sheet, students can prepare and share their information. Information can be shared with the partner if the research was carried out individually and shared with another group. So using this information can be gathered, or this information can be shared among the various information. That is how to present the information, how we can get the information. And students can also complete a spider report sheet on native groups not researched, or the students can develop a retrieval chart using the information collected. This is one of the sample retrieval chart or the bulletin board chart. This is one of the sample that is given. These are the various choices that is available. That is the Algonquins, that is the Iroquois, then Hurons. These are the homes, food, travel. These are the various categories. Clothing, daily life, beliefs, others. So these are the various categories of this one, and these are the various parts that is available over here. Now stage number 4 is the information sharing that I'm going to continue, or that I'm going to take in the next class, that is the tomorrow's class. Alright, so we have covered today the 3 stages, that is the planning, then information retrieval, a multiple part, then the information gathering, processing, that also includes the multiple parts. Next stage is the information sharing that I am going to cover within the next class. That is how we can share the information. There are multiple parts or multiple ways by which we can share the information. So that's all for today's session, and if there is any doubts, any suggestions, you can either